Hey guys, welcome back. So today it's a range day. We're just out screwing around, but we're trying out some new equipment. It gets really cold here in Northwest Indiana. A lot of times we get a lot of snow, and being outside, being able to film and make long, meaningful videos, and when I say long, it takes us up to 5-6 hours sometimes to film a really good video. To do that when it's 20 degrees outside or below zero is tough, especially when the wind's blowing and the snow's flying. So what we're doing right now is we're testing out this new thing. I picked it up off Amazon.com. It's a Coleman mosquito net tent thing. It's about 10 by 10 foot. I also picked up some $19 polymer, or I should say nylon panels. We have 4 of them so we can block the wind if we need to, and be able to keep ourselves somewhat warm. Over my right shoulder we have a little Coleman heating element thing that runs on propane. And again, I picked that up off Amazon. I think it was like 29 bucks. So what we're trying to do is build a portable shooting position where we can control the wind, so you guys don't hear a bunch of wind noise, where we can keep it a little bit warm, make it a little bit more manageable for us, and just be outside all day long shooting rifles and handguns and having a good time. So tell us what you guys think. We'll give you a quick walk around the outside. Well, heck, follow me with the camera, Jason. Let's just do a quick walk around. So what we have here, first of all, is this is my Mk12. This is what we're going to shoot today. It's a BCM Mk12. On top of it is a loophole, and this one is their this is a 3 to 18 power optic it's nice and short and compact, which was intended for a rifle just like the Mk12. It's sitting on a lead sled, and we picked this up through one of our distributors. The Coleman shooting bench, I used one of these when I was out prairie dog hunting. I picked it up off Amazon. I think it was right around $249. I get a lot of stuff through Amazon.com. And so we can tear this down very quickly, set it up wherever we want to. It's a really stable shooting platform, and it allows us, again, that mobility when we're out either hunting or if we're just going to go out and shoot at one of the 4 or 5 different ranges that we normally use. So we can hold this opening open. We're probably going to have to come up with a little bit better way to keep this open, but right now we're 150 yards from our steel targets downrange. And so we're shooting through the clearing over here. You can probably see my breath. It's pretty cold today. And what's funny is that little Coleman thing is keeping it pretty toasty in there, because I just have a fleece on and now I'm cold. I had to take my outer shell off in there because I was getting too hot. But so you can kind of see where we're at. This is how it's all set up outside. They said it's about a 45-second job for 2 people to set this up. At least on our first attempt, it was about a 20-minute operation. It was not simple. I would say that the quality on this Coleman is marginal at best. We already broke one of the loops that the stakes are used to hold it down. We're gonna have to modify that a little bit. So I'm gonna give it probably a 3-star rating based upon my 1-day experience with it so far on Amazon. But hopefully, if we can do a little bit of mending with it, I like it conceptually. It's small and lightweight enough that we can easily get it in and out of vehicles and move it around with us. And I like the idea of being able to use it in the summer to keep the bugs off of us and keep us in some shade when it's really, really hot, and also the ability to run this heater. Let's go back inside. And so that's what we're going to do today, guys. We actually are able to use our spotting scope. This is what Jason's going to be spotting some of the shots with. We're just going to be shooting steel this afternoon. This is a loophole. I think it's a Mark IV spotting scope. I got this from Optics Planet. If you guys want to pick something up like this from Optics Planet, I do have a discount code down below in the description. I get no kickbacks from Optics Planet. They don't pay me to promote them at all, but I do get a discount code from them and several other vendors like Fruity Munitions, again, where I get no kickbacks. They just do that as thank yous to our viewership, and I'm greatly appreciative when they do that. So anyway, let's do some shooting. I don't know that we're going to use the lead sled. The lead sled we started using because we wanted to take the human factor out of the accuracy tests that we're going to be doing going forward. So you're going to see the lead sled a lot more when we're truly doing accuracy tests. This gun's already zeroed out. We're going to go ahead and put it just on a Black Hawk rest. And the gun has an AEM5 suppressor, which is the correct suppressor for the Mk12. The Mk12 has a unique over-the-barrel type system that was developed by Crane. So yeah, this is probably about the most accurate build you could ever get, except it's not a build. It was purchased from BCM in its current configuration, minus the optics and of course minus the AEM suppressor. That's enough talking, guys. I just wanted to bring you out, come to the range with us. It's a nice cold Saturday afternoon, and do a little bit of shooting with the Mk12. And I think Jason brought something out that he wants to do some shooting with and show you guys what we've been investing in terms of trying to make it a little bit more palatable for us to be out here in the dead of winter. Yeah, I'm getting old and I'm complaining about the cold. Let's load up some magazine, guys, and do some shooting. So what we're doing right now, guys, this Mk12 likes Federal Gold Medal Match. This is some of the 69 grain stuff. I did bring out some 77s, but it's 0 to the 69 grain stuff. And this is what it looks like. And it's technically 223 pressures, so it's not real hot stuff, but I found that it gives me sub-MOA accuracy out of this Mk12 when I do my part. I've loaded it into a PMag, also brought out a Lancer 5 magazine. You know, I've seen accuracy differences just in the types of magazines you use, believe it or not. And we're trying to confirm that by shooting groups with different magazines. But yeah, so we have it set up on the Blackhawk rest. The reason we're doing the Mk12 today is, first of all, I really enjoy shooting the Mk12, and you guys always ask me to do more Mk12 videos. It's like, what's the update, man? What's going on with the gun? Do you still like it? Well, yeah, I do like it. I've switched out the optics. This is a Kinetic Dev Group quick detach mount, which I decided to try out. Now, I'm not so interested in it that, you know, this thing's perfectly zeroed right now. At some point I will pop the mount off and put it back on just to make sure it goes back to 0, if obviously I have to do that. But right now I'm just shooting it until I need to take the scope off. You'll notice that the Mk12s have backup sights, but you can't deploy or use the backup sights unless you take the scope off. So it's kind of pointless having what I had on there before, which would be scope mount rings, the ones that, you know, crank down with a bolt. How are you going to get those off in a hurry if you need your iron sights, right? You can set some 45-degree offsets, I guess, or something like that, but, you know, the real Mk12 has these backup sights. So, all right, we have 10 rounds loaded. We have a Challenge Steel IPSC target downrange at 150 yards. We did confirm the distance with this little loophole laser rangefinder, and this is the RX 1200i, and this is something else I picked up from Optics Planet a couple years ago. When I was still running separate laser rangefinders from binos. Right now I'm trying out the Nikon Laser Force, binoculars and lasers integrated. You'll see me using those in the field this year when I'm hunting. But this is one I keep in the Jeep, and it's really handy, small, gives really good readings, it's easy to use. So again, that's the RX 1200i loopholed laser rangefinder, and I'm 90% sure I got it from Optics Planet. But yeah, again, code down below, no kickbacks. But that's how we confirm, make sure that we're at the right distance, so we can make sure that when we're setting our scopes up, that we're actually zeroing them at the proper distance. All right, let's see. Did I chamber around? I did not. So we got 1 round chambered. The one thing I want to change on this gun is I do want to put a Geisley trigger in it. This has the factory BCM trigger in it. It's probably about a 6.5 pound trigger. It's kind of stagey. I wouldn't call it a 2-stage trigger. It just starts to pull back. It hangs up just a little bit and then goes bang, but not like in a 2-stage planned way. It's hard to describe. It's more of just a standard military type trigger. I am going to put a much nicer trigger in this thing, but despite that, this thing is capable of sub-MOA accuracy. I'm only running the Leupold Mark 6 at 9 power. All right, so, yep, everything seems to be still dialed in. I'm already getting mirage off the scope. I'm sorry, off the suppressor through the scope, and it's only 10 rounds fired. But I started to see loss of definition, that waviness of a mirage, just after firing 10 consecutive rounds. But it put it into a little group down there, about that big. So yeah, it's really nice being able to do this. I can still see my breath, but actually it's quite warm, and we can still move this little Coleman closer to us. But let's throw in some of the 77 grain, see if it holds the same 0 on that target, see if it hits the exact same spot, because I haven't tried that yet. All right, so Now, the 69 grain stuff, as I said, this is what the gun zeroed to. Here's some of the 77 grain ammo, and again, it's the Federal Gold Medal match. I'm going to see if it shoots to the same point at aim, see if it, at some point, not today, because we're not going to do a whole lot of pasties, just see if it gives me similar sized groups. It seems like in the winter we do a lot more long range shooting. We have this now, but we usually go to a place that's about 2.5 hours from us. That's where we shoot indoors, long range at 1,000 yards. And again, that's like an all-day thing for us. When we go do that, we have to drive 2.5 hours there, film 2.5 hours back. So it's quite the commitment of time just to get out there, and you may or may not be 10 or 20 people shooting, or it may be raining sideways when you get there and you can't really make use of the 1,000-yard range. So it's kind of nice having other options like what we're trying to do here with this little setup that we have going on, which so far I think both Jason and I are in agreement. This is a pretty neat little setup. But the Coleman, I hope it holds up. We may have to buy something else in a year or so, because I don't know if this thing is going to make it a couple of years with regular use. All right, let's see how these 77 grainers do. Spot on the same spot. Just a little bit lower, probably about that much lower. Left to right was perfect. So, wow, that's pretty cool. So, just a little bit more drop than the 69 grainers. I guess that would be expected. There's a little hostage target that we have down there that's just half peeking out around a tree. I'm gonna see if I can hit that target right in the face. Let's see what happens here. Again, we're about 150 yards away. Not super long range, running 9 power. And this is the 77 grain stuff again. Well, I'd say she's doing her job. Man, I love this rifle. I will have to say, I own quite a few AR-15s, and of all the ARs that I own, this is easily my favorite, not just because it's a Mark 12 clone, but it's just a shootable rifle. I love the flat dark earth. I do love the fact that it's a Mark 12 clone. I'm glad I'm finally able to put this Mark 6 on here. I was trying to find a home for it. I just think this is the perfect setup. And now I think it might actually make a pretty decent little varminting rifle. The thing I want to try, I haven't tried yet, is doing clip-on night vision in front of the Mark 6, make sure it's the right height. I have the rail space. I mean, that's what this is designed for. And if that's the case, with night vision, turn this thing down to about 3 or 4 power, this would make a darn fine predator hunting rifle. Speaking of which, we just got this in. We ordered this through Amazon, not Amazon, I'm sorry, Optics Planet. And yeah, this is something that we've wanted for a while, and Jason has an older version. He really wanted the Shockwave, and so yeah, here it is. We haven't even taken it out of the box yet. Jason's going to do all the programming and stuff for the calls, but we're going to be using this call this year, thanks to Optics Planet for having this bad boy in stock. We're going to give it a shot. This thing is supposed to be the creme de la creme of predator calls, so we shall see. So stay tuned for more information on that. And that's why I'm kind of excited about shooting the Mark 12 at a Yote or two. All right, Jason, I think, brought out his RFB, and it has the 20-inch barrel, I believe, on it, and he's running it with an OSS can. Let's let him get all set up and do a little bit of shooting and enjoy the trappings of our fine new little portable building.
All right, guys, I brought out my Kel-Tec RFB. I really enjoy this rifle. This one, I believe, has a 22-inch barrel. I'm running a OSS Helix 7.62 suppressor, a Vortec scope, and running some Freedom Munitions 308 155 grain ammunition. Load up a few rounds in the magazine here. All right, got 10 rounds loaded here. Getting the whole magazine. Do a little bit of shooting. All right. Ten shots. I have to say, I really love this setup. The OSS can really helps this rifle out. I mean, really, no gas to the face, pleasure to shoot. I have to say, I like this thing a lot. Pretty cool setup we got going on here.
So we've never tried the OSS cans on the RFBs before. I have one, Jason has one. He has the long barrel, I have the shorter barrel version of it. I'm kind of curious how it's going to work. Now keep in mind the OSS are a very low back pressure or no back pressure can, meaning none of the gas comes back down the barrel like which would happen on a traditional can. But it also has a gas piston system up here with its adjustments being made. And I'm kind of curious if it's anything like a Steyr AUG, which vents gas directly into the atmosphere right next to the barrel, and it is a horrible suppressor platform. So with a suppressor that's intended to be used on gas guns with the OSS, I'm just going to see what this thing sounds like without hearing protection. I'm really kind of curious. We've not done this before, and we've not put it on the meter before, so I'm going to kind of find out for the first time the hard way whether or not this is actually going to be hearing safe, at least to what I think is hearing safe without a sound meter running, with this little bullpup in the OSS can. So what's interesting about the OSS cans, as I think I've described this before in the past, they're half suppressor, half sound diverter. So they're a pass-through gas system. So it vents a lot of the gases out the front of the can. So what's not coming back down the barrel and popping out the ejection port is venting out the front of the silencer. So you get a projection of sound downrange, which is why they'll meter poorly at the muzzle, but will meter very good at the shooter's ear. So what did I just find out? I don't think I wrung my ears, but we're going to have to put it on a sound meter. That's all I can say. I like it on the rifle though, but I like the OSS cans on any self-loading rifle. They just seem to work really, really well. Especially if you have an AR-10 or something that's being very finicky with a can on it, the OSS almost always cures that. It's far better than an adjustable gas block or one of those adjustable bolt carriers in the AR-15s or AR-10s. I hope you guys enjoyed coming out to the range with us this afternoon to test out some new equipment. The Coleman tent thing, I don't know, we'll see. I'm probably going to give it a 3-star rating, I think I said. It's hopefully going to hold up for a couple of years for us, but we're trying to invest in stuff that's going to allow us to improve the quality of the videos here at the Military Arms channel, and this is one of those things. The other thing that I picked up this year that we just got, literally this is like the 3rd range session with it, is this Caldwell table system, which breaks down, fits into a bag. I can easily fit it into my Jeep. I bought it off Amazon.com with my Prime, and I think it was like $249, free 2-day shipping, and the thing weighs like 80 pounds, so I got it really quick, and my UPS man's got to hate me at this point with all the ammo that comes to me and this stuff. Yeah. And no, I'm not sponsored by Amazon, and no, I don't get kickbacks for saying go check things out over on Amazon. But anyway, we got the predator season coming up, we have deer season coming up, and we got some hunts in Texas coming up. I'm really excited to show you guys, but I think here real soon we're going to head out into the woods and do some coyote hunting. And I think my first choice of rifles this year, at least on the first outing, is going to be the Mk12. I love this rifle. Guys, if you'd like to support us here at the Military Arms channel, the best way to do that right now is just to support us through Patreon. Over at Patreon, we give you all sorts of behind-the-scenes information. We answer all private messages, both me and Jason, but we also have our friends at Freedom Munition who keep us supplied in ammunition here at the channel. They give away $200 in ammunition every month to 2 lucky winners, $100 each to each winner, and that's really, really cool of them. But also, we have a new t-shirt line that we work with Forged from Freedom to create, and Forged from Freedom gives away 5 t-shirts every month to 5 lucky Patreons, and you guys get to pick which style that you want. If you'd like to check out the Mac collection of t-shirts, there is a link down below, and we also have patches and hoodies and sweaters and stuff coming up now that it's getting cold outside like it is now. But again, please consider supporting us over on Patreon. It really does help us. We've been almost completely demonetized by YouTube. YouTube, for some reason, doesn't seem to like its content creators, and in particular, it seems to have a thing for gun channels in general. They're striking our accounts for things as silly as Magpul furniture on rifles. 3 strikes, you're out. So please not only support us over there on Patreon, but also look for other channels that have moved over to Patreon to fund themselves, and also consider supporting them as well. Guys, if you want to support us one other way, you can always swing by and check us out at Copper Custom. We carry a lot of cool products there, products that we stand behind, products that we use, that we shoot, that we believe in. We don't have a whole lot of stuff, but the stuff that we sell at very good prices, and it's stuff that we actually use. Guys, thanks for all those years of support, and we'll talk to you guys soon. But first, I'm going to fire 5 more rounds of this Federal on that man-sized target down there at 150 yards. I'm going to see if I can get 5 quick shots on it. Play like it's a running predator. A running predator that's not running. Yeah, super, super simple, guys. I love this rifle. We'll see you guys on the range soon.